What's up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the effortlessly entertaining Dr. Disaster, and Mecha Break looked as though it was poised to be a breakout hit akin to Marvel Rivals. And of course, the game just released, so there may be time for that yet, but as of right now, they aren't hitting very big numbers.
Wait a minute, how did this happen?
It's a little bit perplexing that Mecha Break isn't doing any better than this. At the time of this recording on its release date, which, admittedly, this is not a great release date, it's the middle of the summer, right before the Independence Day holidays here in the US, but still, they should be doing better than 73,000 players at the time of this recording, with 132,000 players at its max. After all, this is a game that was renowned during its beta for having an exceptional character creator, where you could make female characters who actually looked like chicks.
Well, hello, beautiful.
And when you combine that with what looks to be awesome mech fighting, you would think that this was bound to be a big winner, even if it didn't reach the rarefied air of a game like Marvel Rivals, which hit 644,000 concurrent players at its peak. But even if it didn't do that, you would think that it would at least be able to hit numbers like The First Descendant, which broke 250,000 players. And let's face it, just about the only thing that game had going for it was the eye candy female characters. Gameplay wise, it's not exactly top of the industry, so as a free to play like these aforementioned games, you would think that Mecha Break would be able to at least come near the First Descendant numbers, but it looks like the makers of the game have made some decisions with their monetization that has pissed a lot of gamers off.
You guys suck!
Yeah, it sounds like the monetization plan for Amazing CSUN Games with Mecha Break is cutting off a lot of the customization options in the character creator mode and putting them behind a paywall. That's pretty insidious, considering that the character creator was one of the biggest things that people were talking about with this game. But it turns out that the joke may be on the developers, because gamers are getting sick of these conniving microtransaction schemes. On its first day, the game is already at a mixed rating. After games like Fortnite and Roblox made their mark, all of these studios behave as if this microtransaction monetization is some sort of godsend that will work for every game. But as far as the gaming community is concerned, this is how we generally see that shit.
Let's face it, I am pretty obnoxious.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I've begun uploading some of my content over onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too. Also, give me a follow on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. I keep a list on there of games lousy with wokeness pinned to my account at all times for your reference, but wokeness isn't the problem that Mecha Break is running into. No, the big problem seems to be that at least a good chunk of gamers are not loving the way the game is being monetized. Now, I'm going to throw this out there real quick though. I have seen a bunch of people on social media talking about Mecha Break's player count compared to the likes of Assassin's Creed Shadows and Dragon Age the Veilguard, and they're acting as if the player count for Mecha Break being higher than those games is somehow a big win for the chuds against the modern audience types, and I've got to speak up against that in the interest of intellectual honesty. Don't get me wrong, if it isn't apparent that I'm very against Dragon Age the Veilguard and Assassin's Creed Shadows, then you are either new here or you haven't been paying attention. This is not me defending those turds. However, comparing the player count of a free-to-play like Mecha Mecha Break versus a $70 game like these two aforementioned turds that just doesn't tell you anything. If you want to make fun of Assassin's Creed Shadows and the Veilguard, and I encourage that because those are terrible, but if you want to do it, then compare their numbers to something like Claire Obscure Expedition 33 or something like that. If you want meaningful comparisons for a game like Mecha Break, then you need to compare apples to apples, and the game is falling a bit flat. Mecha Break is not performing well, at least on Steam and at least on its opening day thus far, which is surprising since, as I pointed out before, Mecha Break had over 200,000 followers on Steam before the game was even released. Only a handful of games in the entire existence of Steam have ever managed to do that. You also may remember that back in February, there was a beta test of Mecha Break, which drew in over 300,000 concurrent players at its peak, and it is hard to believe that there would be more people playing the demo than the actual game, considering that in this instance, the actual game is a free-to-play. That doesn't make a lot of sense, and it is possible that Amazing CSUN Games will still manage to turn this around. The opening weekend will likely see a rise in player count, but if you're searching for a reason as to why the game is not performing so far, despite the fact that it has mechs and hot chicks, well, the answer seems to be right here. As I showed you before, the game has a mixed rating right away on its opening day, and there seems to be a fairly common complaint across all of the negative reviews on Steam. The monetization model is really irking people. Let's look at a few of the reviews though, so you can get an idea as to what exactly they're saying here. This player wrote, was a huge fan of both the betas that came out, but instantly lost all desire to even start up a game after seeing how much of the customization that was in the beta being either removed entirely or added behind a paywall and user marketplace. Don't even get me started on the $50 bundle of skins that cannot be customized. And then this person here wrote, I played the game before release and I loved it. I was excited to play it until I was greeted by the insane microtransactions and an auction house you can sell said microtransactions on. $47.99 for a pilot and mech? WTF. You can straight up pay money to extract items from Mashmac, aka the extraction mode. Who thought this was a good idea? This game had the potential to be the next big thing, but now I feel dirty playing it. All they had to do was sell $15 skins like every other free-to-play game. TLDR, greedy BS, I don't recommend. So, if you've got around a third of the people leaving negative reviews on its user score, that helps explain why they are still only sitting at less than half of the peak player count of their beta for Mecha Break. Obviously, the people who didn't like the game are going to stop playing, and gamers are pretty good at spreading the word whenever something like this comes out. That being said, I do think that since the reviews are mixed, then I feel like it's fair to read at least one positive review. It says here, ignore the overdramatic people complaining about microtransactions. If you want to spend money, do it. If not, just don't buy it. The $50 skin, well yeah, it's there, but the battle pass is $12 and the game is well polished. Do you play a game because of the microtransactions or to enjoy your time? If it's the second one, play it. Simple as that. Now, I will say this, a game has to have some way to make some kind of money. It is unreasonable to expect to get the entirety of a game completely for free. They have to be able to pay their people, but it just makes me lament the fact that so many of these studios have gotten away from making quality games with one price tag at the beginning, and that aren't designed to bleed users dry of either their money or their time. Now, don't misunderstand. I know that for some games, a free-to-play model absolutely works, but these guys have got to understand that pushing too far with the microtransaction greed is going to chase people away. I think that a game like this might have done better if they had just put like a $30 price tag on it or something like that and just stopped trying to push microtransactions. I think something like that might have worked for them, but I will say this, I would encourage Sony, who has been pushing for a lot of live service games in the past few years, I would strongly encourage them to pay attention to what is happening with Mecha Break. But I'm going to leave it there. What do you make of this Mecha Break situation? Drop your thoughts into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.